Hi guys, hope you're well. Welcome to DOdaily, Monday Motivation. It's Des here, ready to attack the week, ready to get back into the swing of things. Anybody who's been watching might have noticed that last week didn't put out any content. That's the first time that's happened in nearly 3 years. Whilst I try to get on every day, express my feelings, the way I'm feeling, my ups, my downs, if I'm feeling well, ill, indifferent. You know, last week I was really poorly. On Monday, I was ready and raring to go up bright and early, considering running with Kay in the evening when I finished my work. But all of a sudden, flu-type symptoms hit me and it really rocked me off my feet. I quite often push through these things and try and fight it by keep moving, by keep creating positive energy. But last week it knocked me for 6. I was on the sofa, I was in bed a lot, you know. And again, as much as I try and look after myself, going to bed when I'm poorly is not always the one. I don't like it sort of cooped up in a bedroom, but I needed the rest. I needed a little bit of recovery, and thankfully by the end of the week I was fighting fit. Trip to London at the weekend with the Do Running guys, always a brilliant occasion. Whilst I wasn't 100% fit, I'm not 100% now, you know, probably about 80 then, probably 90 now, if that. But whilst I was feeling still pretty groggy, you know, just being around the guys and so many of them, 20 odd of us, making a trip, doing a park run, having a walk round, you know, enjoying some of the local pubs before coming home. Just a real nice social event, real great occasion, which I do every year. I was absolutely devastated at the thought of missing it through being ill, but thankfully just picked up in time to at least salvage something from the week. And I can look back now, as I tried to do on a Monday, and think, yeah, it was still a good week, despite 4 or 5 days being cooped up, you know, feeling really shocking, you know, absolutely terrible. I can still take quite a lot from it. Was positive at the start in getting up, you know, made that sort of vow on one of the previous episodes of DOdaily to build on all my good work so far in terms of my running activity and starting my marathon training, and some of the habits, the dietary changes I've made. You know, really wanted to build on that, so I did, albeit for only 1 day. So, but it's still a positive, isn't it? Still something to take from it. Got to get quickly back into that, and then at the end of the week, you know, doing the things I enjoy anyway, regardless of whether I wasn't 100% fit. You know, just meant I kind of finished it thinking, yeah, I've come through it, you know, and it's time to go again. What I have to remember, you know, and it's something I've definitely got to check in with myself with, is to get quickly back to the habits I was in. The good eating, you know, the clean eating in the week, especially, you know, not drinking in the week, especially, getting in as much activity as I can. And whilst on a Monday I'd love to get out there and get in a decent effort, you know, a good run, or at least a good walk, a good couple of hours walk. Not done that much today, again, because of the way I'm feeling, but I'm feeling positive as well, and that's what really matters, isn't it? I've taken the dog for a walk, and whilst it's not as much activity as I'd normally do, you know, at least I got out there, got some fresh air, and he got his activity as well. He's great for accountability, but again, I use the daily motivations as my accountability to try and keep pushing forward. And after last week, you know, I've got to make sure I keep pushing forward, but isolate that off a little bit. You know, it was a blip. None of us can avoid illness sometimes, you know, and we do all we can, and sometimes we probably do need a break. And it seemed to come at the right time for me. It could have been worse. It could have been later when I'm even deeper into marathon training. You know, it could have been nearer to the start of the year where it would have been a struggle to get motivated again. But I feel coming back, you know, and taking those positives as I've just mentioned from last week. You know, even though my voice is really croaky, I'm struggling to get some of these words out. You know, I'm really sort of on it and thinking, yeah, just do what you can do what you have to do, because these things are sent to try us, aren't they? You know, they're sent to stop us in a track sometimes, but I'm not going to let it. You know, all the really nice things that I talk about all the time on DOdaily, and all the things I want to achieve, got to keep my eyes on the prize. You know, keep going, keep using Monday as a solid basis to build from. Even if it's last Monday, which I'm doing right now, got up early. Didn't get up early today. You know, didn't do some of the things that I'd probably want to do because I'm still feeling that little bit poorly. But as the week goes on, I'm sure that's going to pick up, and I'd hope by midweek, later in the week, I'm running again. You know, and it's beyond me, and I'm starting to make strides forward. And that's all we can do at times, isn't it? You know, when things are testing, when something upsets us, you know, or something stops us in the track, we just have to quickly sort of check in with ourselves, reevaluate where we are. I use my daily motivations to give me that accountability, you know, to make sure I use them as a reference point. Monday motivation, it means I've got to get up there. You know, I've got to get my head into things and really sort of be positive. Tuesday training, tomorrow I've got to find some more. Wednesday workout, I try and use different things with Wednesday. If it's not a check-in, you know, it's a part-one vlog to try and highlight the importance of activity. Actually managed one of those prior to being ill last week, which I couldn't get out again because I didn't do any episodes, which I don't feel comfortable with at all, because again, this is my daily vlog, and through other times I've been able to get out there and do it, but I have to accept that too. But I've got that vlog coming out on Wednesday. That's a part one. They always go down really well, and then of course I'll be starting to sort of feel like I'm back on top of it. Thursday comes around, the live question and answers, anything you want to pose my way, how I deal with things, how I can be quite positive after being ill, even whilst I was ill, you know, why I want to tackle things so quickly, what I'm feeling, what's my favourite colour, as serious or as not so serious as you want it to be. I'll look to answer your questions, just using some of the experiences I've had over the last couple of years, just being conscious of my feelings, my thoughts, you know, being quite candid in the way I feel a lot of the time. It's just given me a bit of experience to explain it. So if there's anything on your mind, please post me a question. I'd absolutely love that. Check out all the social media links at the end of this video if you want to get in touch. And then on Friday, hopefully I'll be waking up to walk. Really sort of looking forward to attacking another day, another weekend as it comes round, with a walk, and knowing that I can look back on the rest of the week. And because I started on Monday, motivated, despite the way I'm feeling, you know, I can tick it off as a good one. I can see it as a better one than last. It's not going to take much to be that this week, is it really? But I can look back, tick it off and think, I bounced back there, show some bounce back ability. Which is a pretty modern word, but people know what that means by now. You know, it's just a case of proving that you can still do it. And for myself, I have to keep doing that. It's the reason I talk openly about the things I do. Those who take some from it probably hold me a little bit responsible for doing what I say I'm going to do. You know, and I was just watching something the other day about numbers around how people follow people talking and follow actions, and of course so many more people follow actions than words. So what I'm trying to do here is put actions on the back of words, but again, it's always a great place to check in, listen how someone else is doing it. Hopefully I can be relatable in what I'm saying. Everybody picks up illnesses. Lots of people want to beat it, fight it, get over it, start the week in a positive frame of mind. But it's not always possible, is it? But we can always find a way somehow just to see the light at the end of the tunnel, get through it and start to feel good about ourselves. If you're not feeling fantastic, hopefully my positivity, even with a croaky voice, you know, is helping, encouraging, you know, being enthusiastic. It's absolutely allowed. Spoke to the guys at the running group, you know, just get enthusiastic about what we do. It's amazing, you know. Why should we be reserved just because somebody tells us sometimes that that's not the way should be? You know, absolutely get enthusiastic about what you've got. I've got a great week planned ahead. You know, tonight my football content, tomorrow those groups that I can lead and do some coaching with, Wednesday putting that vlog out, all these nice things, football matches to look forward to, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday this week, you know, new part ones maybe in the meantime. What's not to enjoy, what's not to love? Back at work, back at it big time, you know, feeling it, wanting to do what I do, but cautious of where I'm at, but not being put off. And that's all we really need to be on a Monday, isn't it? Just in a good frame of mind, not to be too distracted by anything that's getting in the way. Because obviously this illness thing is, and one or two other things potentially are. But don't be put off by what gets in the way, and just be really happy that we're starting a brand new week in tip-top form. So until Tuesday training, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. Hopefully I've made it as positive as I can. Hopefully it's made sense. You know, the thought processes aren't quite 100% clear yet, but I'm working at that, and hopefully the episodes will pick up. Tune in for the rest of the week. Of course, please give this episode a thumbs up if you have taken anything from it. I'd really, really appreciate that. Even if it's just to sort of even if you give me a like for waffling on through being ill, but still wanting to make things better, you know. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. That would be absolutely amazing. I'd really appreciate that. Really appreciate you checking back in. Check out that vlog definitely on Wednesday. That's absolutely brilliant. Looking forward to putting that out. Looking forward to the rest of the week. Come on, just doing it.